danyo ho wada dang and God danyo ho wada dang. This is the voice of the Patriot. And here we speak truth to power. Here we don't compromise. And here we are not neutral. We have actually taken sides. The side of the truth. That is why we keep saying we are the headquarters of the truth. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Remember, here we don't criticize. But if we must criticize, we'll do it only on one condition. To build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. Without much ado, my brother, my sister, let us go straight, headlong into action. My brother, my sister, the first story we are looking at today is taken from Ghana Web. And I read, we are investigating how gay couple got permission to shoot at the monuments. And this is KOD speaking. Now, Director of Diaspora Affairs at the Presidency, Kofi Ochredako, has said his office is looking into the recent misconduct displayed by some gay couple at the Black Star Square. Now, on June 25, 2025, social media went ablaze after pictures of Louis and Rui sharing affectionate moments at key Ghanaian monuments, including the Independence Square block. In fact, the Black Star Square, Osu Castle, Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, and the Bri Botanical Gardens went viral under the hashtag Show Ghana Love. Their intention was to support Ghana's LGBTQ plus community and protect the proposed human sexual protest, that's the word, protest the proposed human sexual rights and family values bill, which would impose heavy penalties, including up to 3 years imprisonment for same-sex relations and 5 to 10 years for promoting LGBTQ plus activities. Now, the pictures have since led to outrage on social media, with many calling on the authorities to take action. KOD subsequently expressed his thoughts on the matter, but quickly deleted the post. Now, speaking in an interview with Adum FM, KOD expressed shock when he found out that the couple had secured permission to shoot their provocative content using the iconic monument. My concern was with their using the Independence Monument for the statement. Even though one can go there to take pictures, you need permission to go there. So we are investigating how they got such permission. People ask if there were no security on spot, but once they had permission, they would have been left alone, he said. Homosexuality is not allowed in this country. Man and man kissing is nauseating to the Ghanaian laws. Woman and woman touching, cuddling, and kissing, nauseating to the laws of this country. And anything that the laws of this country do not agree with is equally nauseating to the people of the country, because the law is supposed to represent the people. My brother, my sister, now these laws came into being via the colonial administration. It was the British that introduced heavy penalties for same-sex relations. And since we inherited these laws, we have not found it necessary to amend them. In recent times, it's rather to even make those fines and penalties and punitive measures worse. My brother, my sister, now what is this story talking about? a gay couple decided to go to some iconic places and monuments in Ghana. Social media was awash with their nauseating activities. And I already told you in the preamble why it is nauseating to the people of Ghana. Hear me now. They stood under the Black Star Square, the monument that represents our independence. The same place Kwame Nkrumah stood and declared that our country was independent. And not just independent, but permanently independent. They stood there in the same fashion, kissing, hugging, and cuddling. They didn't end there. They went to the Iburi Gardens, where a lot of people want to go and have marriage photographs, nuptial photos. My brother, my sister, they kissed and hugged and did their nauseating activities there. Of course, you can't blame the security personnel too much. But once people go in there with permission, my brother, my sister, they can do almost anything they want to do. I have gone there a couple of times without permission, my brother, my sister, for photography. And I saw the security personnel coming down on me and asking me to provide security. I asked them where I could get that, in fact, security from. They said the Ministry of Defense. My brother, to take a photograph at places like that and have to go all the way to the Ministry of Defense. It is so bureaucratic, overly bureaucratic. My brother, my sister, but these are some of the reasons we need permission to be able to show respect to some of our heroes, in fact, and our cultural values in this country. Blakk Rasta hit the point on the nail. My brother, my sister, hear me now. Now, what these guys are doing is rubbing pepper into our eyes. They know our laws are against this, but they have the effrontery to come to us and tell us, listen, we don't care. The same thing Kamala Harris told to us when she came and met with Nana Akufo-Addo. The hungry Nana Akufo-Addo, very irresponsible president who threw our money away with no respect for the decency of the economy. My brother, my sister, Kamala Harris came in point blank and told us she didn't care what we thought about LGBTQI+. All she cared about was that was a human rights issue. And for that matter, she didn't care and she didn't want to listen to any other opinion. Such an arrogant woman. Such an arrogant woman. But she spoke because she feeds us. That's the point I'm about to make. Nana Akufo-Addo was behaving like the house nigger right in front of Kamala Harris. His hands were behind him like a little boy listening to his teacher. At the end of the day, she signed a check and we all witnessed how Nana Akufo-Addo stood in front of her when she was signing that check. My brother, for how long can we continue eating from the kitchen of other people? Marcus Garvey said something very important which I want to share with you. Any race that depends solely on another for its economic survival will die sooner or later. That is why our economy is most of the time dead. Thanks to John Dramani Mahama, we are seeing a resurgence, if you want. We are seeing a certain kind of vibrancy in our economy. In fact, you could call it resurrection. My brother, my sister, gay people came into this country. They have done it behind doors, closed doors. Nobody said anything. Now they rub the ointment into our very eyes, the very painful ointment, and stood in front of our monuments and rubbed it into our eyes, kissing publicly. They put the photographs out there on social media we can prosecute them? Can we find them and prosecute them? They have done something that the laws of the republic do not agree with. Can we find them? Can we find out who gave them the permission to go there? Can we use whatever information they gave out to get their permission to go there? In fact, to track them down? Can you go to America, my brother, my sister, and burn the American flag in a public place? You can burn it in your room. As long as nobody sees, it's all right. This is equivalent to burning down the Ghana flag. What Ghanaians stand for, you have stood against, and you have insulted the people of Ghana. My brother, my sister, before I came into the studio, I decided to talk to KOD. He said investigations are going on. My brother, my sister, and he's in charge of the diaspora and beyond. What did he say? He said, yes, we are investigating to find out exactly who gave permission to these people to go in there. Much as it is difficult to find out exactly what people are doing there, when you give them permission, we will still find out how this was able to escape the lenses of our security. My brother, do we have cameras there? Is there somebody who sits behind the cameras to see exactly what is happening in there? Or once we give the permission, we don't really care what happens in there. So if a man goes in there and he starts to set the whole place on fire, can we see? Do we have CCTV cameras to be able to track any untoward behavior in our Black Star Square and any other such public place? Or we are waiting for a disaster to strike before we do that? What is national security doing? My brother, my sister, what is national security doing about this? I will not go too much into it because there is another level of this gay talk coming up right now. Now the next story I want to look at also has something to do with the gay story. And I'm reading this from Ghana Web. It says LGBT still blaming Akufo-Addo when Mahama hasn't signed either. And this is the ex-NEIP-CEO, and he's taking on Sam George. And I read, Kofi Ofosu Nkansa, a former chief executive officer of the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, has responded to the Minister of Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation, Sam George, for blaming former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo over the recent viral images of the South African gay couple kissing under Ghana's iconic Independence Arch. Now, the couple, identified as Rui and Louis, sparked controversy after photos of them kissing beneath one of the country's most symbolic national monuments circulated widely on social media. In the images, one of the men, who is light-skinned, wore a red and black oversized tailor-made suit, while the other, who is dark-skinned, was dressed in a red shirt, red leather shorts, and a matching red leather jacket. Now, reacting to the incident in a Facebook post on June 25, 2025, Sam George expressed his outrage and blamed former President Nana Akufo-Addo for failing to sign the Family Values Bill into law, even after it had been passed by Parliament and cleared by the courts. He wrote, I have just returned to Accra from Ho in the Volta region, where I attended the climax of our successful Girls in ICT program. I have seen numerous tags and posts about the abhorrent disrespect of our culture and values by two useless individuals. The disrespect of our national symbols is despicable to say the least. However, I am shocked to see apologists of the NPP calling on me and demanding action. What a shameless lot. We are where we are today without strict legislation on these ills because former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo failed and blatantly refused to sign the Family Values Bill into law after it had been passed by Parliament and cleared by the courts.
Yeah, this is Jack Coffee Why we're listening to Blakk Rasta.
Politicians would always be politicians. The damn idiots that we have voted into power, and we keep voting to misbehave and take us for a ride. Some people are saying, why should this happen? Why is the government in power not dealing with this? They were the same people who sat down and watched Nana Akufo-Addo blatantly flout decency. Should I say it again? Hear me now, brethren. My brother, this thing was hammered in the media, left, right, and center. Nana Akufo-Addo, with the help of his Chief Justice and some other people who were in the majority at the time, my brother, my sister, refused to enforce these rules and laws. As I said, Nana Akufo-Addo told Kamala Harris point blank that let Parliament go ahead and pass it. We will see, because it will finally come to my table and I will deal with it. And true to his words, maybe backdoor, he even gave his word to Kamala Harris after this to tell him, listen, when these things come here, I will sweep everything under the table. Nobody is going to sign this into law. At the time, Mahama also spoke about it and asked Nana Akufo-Addo to go ahead and sign it. Today, Mahama is in power. Why is he not signing it? Sam George is in power. Why is he not pushing the same gay, anti-gay agenda? Or was it for political points? I'm just asking. Because Sam George vehemently pushed it. Now President Mahama has made it clear. He says he would only sign this with some amendment. He will look at it, and after looking at it, there are some things he would like to amend, and if everything is okay, he will sign it. But he made it clear that he's not in support of LGBTQI plus activities in the country, just as the people do not like it. But my brother, my position has always been one. Until we cook our own food in our own kitchens, until we become independent, the independent nation that we are supposed to be, my brother, idiots will decide for us where we should walk, what we should say, where we should lie down, and where we should even stand. Idiots will decide for us what time we should go to bed, what time we should rise. In fact, we will be robots and puppets. Yes, puppets in their hands. Not many people would understand this. My brother, my sister, the signing of one check by Kamala Harris made Nana Akufo-Addo a stooge of decency. Nana Akufo-Addo all of a sudden forgot his Bible principles, the biblical man that he said he was. He ran helter-skelter all the way to Israel, and under a certain wall called the Wailing Wall, he wailed and called upon God to make him a president, and that he will serve him to the letter and adhere to his words biblically. He promised to build him a certain cathedral. He failed. He promised to adhere to the words of the Bible. He failed. Because if your Bible is against LGBT, why didn't you adhere to that? I'm just asking questions. Again, when you are making promises to God, be careful. Because when you are hungry, you are ready to sign anything. But when you are fed a little, it becomes difficult for you to walk the talk. Am I making sense? My brother, my sister, it is sad what we are going through. Shame on you, Nanado. Shame on you, Nanado. Shame on you, Nanado. You led this country into confusion. My brother, my sister, but to Sam George, if this truly is something that is so dear to your heart, please bring it up again with the same vehemence you did when you were in opposition. Again, may I ask the question, or was it for political points? I'll leave it there. Now, if you ask me what my opinion is about the LGBTQI plus activities, in fact, I see that to be nauseating. I don't want to see it. I don't want to be at a place where it is happening. I don't want to watch TV and see it. And this is not intolerance. It is just a choice. I don't want it. It's like people who eat pork. I don't eat pork. In fact, I don't eat animals at all. So I don't want to be at a place intermingling with people who are eating animals. It hurts me. It doesn't mean I hate them. I just don't want to be amongst them. Simple. But again, there is no way Ghana would ever make it if we do not become economically independent. Nkrumah said it. Marcus Garvey said it. The more we continue to rely on these nations for our bread, the more their values become our values. We don't have any culture as long as we continue begging for bread. We don't have any values as long as we continue to beg bread. After all, he who feeds you controls you. Stop this nonsense. It's not our culture. Stop this foolishness. Oh, we don't like it. We hate it. If you hate it, be man enough to be independent economically. Is it difficult to understand? Why is America not going to Saudi Arabia to compel them into doing this? Why is America not going to Dubai in the UAE to compel them to accept this? Because they are economically independent. America is looking to even doing business with them. In fact, when planes are even landing in those countries, painted in the so-called rainbow colors, they are stopped from entering the country. They can't enter the airspace. Over here, we see them taking photos under our monuments, kissing and caressing each other. Which photographer took those photos? You'll be shocked that our own photographers, Christians and Muslims, whoever they call themselves, whatever they are, took those photographs. As long as they got money for that, gay money is okay, but gay activities are bad. The thief's money is okay, I can take it, but thievery is bad. What kind of logic is that? What kind of logic is that? If you don't want the gay man's money, my brother, my sister, then you can stand on your 2 feet and say, okay, I don't want your activities anymore. As long as you take the gay man's money, you have no choice. Right in front of your very eyes, they will kiss and cuddle. I'll leave it here. Now I'm going to look at the final thing and I'm done. It's going to take me less than 2 minutes and I'll be done with this. Now this one I'm reading from Ghana Web and it says, loyalty to NPP cost my family everything. Afenyo Markin recounts personal sacrifice. And I read, now the minority leader in parliament, in fact, the micro-minority leader in parliament, Alexander Kwamina Afenyo Markin, has underscored the importance of loyalty and sacrifice in political service. drawing from personal experiences during the launch of the new Patriotic Party's Patriotic Institute. Now, speaking at the launch of the Patriotic Institute on Wednesday, that's yesterday, June 25, at the party headquarters in Accra, he recounted how members of his own family suffered personal and professional attacks and setbacks due to their unwavering allegiance to the NPP tradition. It's barbaric for anybody to victimize you because of your political affiliation. It's all about choices. Same way, it is barbaric for anybody to victimize you because of your religious affiliation. I'm Christian. You are angry with me because you are Muslim. And for that matter, national issues that I am rightfully supposed to benefit from, you decide to cut me off. You are barbaric, and vice versa. My brother, my sister, unfortunately in our country, this is what is happening. We need to be very careful. Yes, political parties mess up, like the NPP just messed up, and nobody wants to hear about it. Same way, it looks like all politicians all over the years are only checkmates. When it's your time to loot, we are quiet. We will pretend to be against it so that we can also come into power. And when we come, you will do the same thing. We will continue with the stealing. That's why Africa has come back this much. Some friends of mine from New York arrived here only last week. You know what they told me? Blakk Rasta, we're going to leave New York and come and live in Ghana. I said, why? They said, what? Ghanaians can walk up to the policeman and talk to the policeman, laugh, shake hands, and even play. If this was New York, in some quarters, a black man approaching a white police, you will get bullets, in fact, stuck in your brains. The crime rate of this country is 3%. Do you know the crime rate in New York, in America? Do you know the crime rate in Jamaica? Here, it looks like we are in heaven. And this gentleman told me another thing, which is not too appropriate to say on radio, but I'll still say it. You know what he told me? Say, Blakk Rasta, anywhere I go in Ghana, everybody is friendly. Hey, I go and sit in a restaurant and I call a lady, please, can I have your personal number? Okay, no problem. She gives it out. The next moment I call her and ask her,